Hi, welcome to the Boca Voice and Fact or Fiction Friday. Today I'm here with Deputy Mayor Jeremy Rodgers, who's joining us today from Boca Raton. Listen, Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thanks, Peter. It's good to be here.
And Jeremy is the first time on the show, and I got to tell you, it's such a pleasure having you. So tell us a little bit of what got you involved with City Council and Boca Raton government.
Yeah, absolutely, Peter. So, I serve on City Council. For people who aren't familiar, there's 5 council members. For me, I was on a city, we have a few different boards in the city. I was serving on one. And when an opportunity was opening up, I said, you know what, I want to step up and do it. There's not a lot of engineers that we've seen, in fact, across the nation, you don't see engineers in politics, I would say enough. So I thought I'd bring a little bit of different perspective. I work full time, it's a stretch, but I thought I'd throw it in. And for me, the city has a great tradition based around technology. There's lots of engineers in the community, but there weren't a lot of those serving on city council. You traditionally see a lot of lawyers. Nothing against lawyers at home. We love them. We all need them sometimes. But I wanted to see a city really that's competing with the Silicon Valleys, the Austins, the New Yorks, the Chicagos in the technology realm. And we're getting there, and we're getting closer every year, but I really want to see someone pushing for something like that.
Well, you're not only part of IBM, you also serve in the Navy, correct?
Correct.
You're a reservist, and I got to thank you for your service to our nation, Jeremy. It's really a pleasure to have somebody sit on City Council that's also a service member. It's a pleasure to have you serve. Thank you so much for your service.
Well, thank you, Peter, and thank you for yours. I don't know if everyone knows, but I think we have a Marine vet, and once a Marine, always a Marine, so
thank you very much. So tell us a little bit more about some of the things that a deputy mayor does for the city.
Sure. So, and again, just for information at home, we have 5 council members. We have the mayor. We have 4 council members who are all elected independently. And every year we have an organizational meeting where the council members pick a few different slots. They pick the CRA chair, who kind of chairs downtown and chairs the downtown CRA meeting. They pick representatives to things like the Florida League of Cities, the Palm Beach League of Cities, the Metropolitan Planning Organization, which handles travel stuff. We also pick a deputy mayor. And as deputy mayor, we all get the same vote. Even the mayor gets the same vote when something comes before us. But your job's just to stand in for the mayor. If the mayor can't make it, you hold the gavel. Now, she hasn't missed a meeting yet since I've been there. And but she has missed a couple events where the governor was in town and she was chairing a separate meeting still in the city actually, but for her MPO duties as president. So I got to get introduced by the governor, talk about all the great things in our city, like our bottom barrel unemployment rate, the fact that we have over half of the Palm Beach County corporate headquarters right here in our city, and appreciate just all the jobs and the great corporate headquarters that we've had open here. I think it was at Orange Theory, and then he was back again the next week for Modernizing Medicine. So Boca means business. We certainly love having jobs here.
That's awesome. So let's kind of switch gears a little bit and talk about our walkable and our great downtown that we've created. And you've been a big part of the downtown that we've had. So tell us a little bit about what's going downtown and some of the things that we get to look forward to.
Sure, absolutely. So yesterday we approved 2 different projects actually that are both downtown related. One was an ALF, and I didn't know what an ALF was before I served on council. It was a show I watched when I was a kid where the little guy ate cats. But an ALF is an adult living facility. And that's a place where our parents, our grandparents can hang out, still be relatively independent. And what's great about one downtown, they could go to coffees, they could walk around downtown, they're not having to get in their cars and drive necessarily, and still live independent. Yesterday, a very contentious project at one point, but one that was a huge win, I would say, for the community as a whole, Meisner 200. I think it's even been something that you've covered on your show before, but that was approved with support by the neighbors on the side, the Townsend Place neighbors, the neighbors across the street, and the developer. In fact, for how many times we sent him back to the drawing board, he still wanted to come up and give us a handshake. So that was surprising to see, but good. But another beautiful project that we'll see coming downtown soon.
And what was the ALF project that was approved?
The ALF was 370, I think at 375 Royal Palm.
That's great.
And it's the first of a few that I think are going to come before us. It's a beautiful project, very high end. When I'm going to retire in Boca and be in an ALF, that's the one I would want to be at. It's just absolutely beautiful, and what a great location too. You could walk to the beach, you could walk to all the shops downtown. It's going to be really nice.
That's great. So what else do we, one of the things that we constantly hear from some of the residents and some of our viewers are talking about the issues downtown regarding parking. So what is the city council doing in regards to parking in downtown to help out some of those parking issues?
Sure, absolutely. So there's a couple things we're doing. First, we're looking at some transportation alternatives. We're looking for a spot where we can put a parking garage to cover that from the city's perspective, but it's been a little tough finding a spot. There's possibility that we may have a downtown train stop sometimes, or we're wrestling with the idea, do we want the garage right next to the train, or do we want it a little farther away? And this is something else I didn't realize. If it's a little farther away, that really activates all of those shops and streets between the garage and the train stop. We're looking at, we had a downtowner that left, but we have another one that just started running yesterday, so we're excited to see that up and running. And you could call that and take the cards, and it's free. You just have to tip your driver. You don't have to tip your driver, but you should tip your driver.
Right.
But more importantly, anytime we have a project that's underparked or isn't parked at all, and it comes from redevelopment, we make sure that it comes into code and adds parking. I'll take Royal Palm Shops as an example. Everyone loves Royal Palm Shops and all the businesses going on in there. It's hard to find parking though, because if you were to build that today, you need much more parking for what you have there. So anytime a project comes and they're redeveloping or changing it, we're going to make sure that they're parked to code and it's got to fix some of that. But we really want people to explore all ways of getting downtown, whether it's walking, biking, taking Ubers or rideshare projects, or taking our new rideshare mini golf cart.
So what are some of the new exciting things on the horizon that you can tell us about?
So we just made a huge jobs announcement, 800 jobs over the next few years with modernizing medicine. That was a pretty exciting one. A big part of why I ran was to bring some of these technology jobs to Boca and keep them here. We're looking at 2 different golf course deals, and we discussed that again yesterday. There's been some frustration there, and for good reason, but there's a lot of moving parts on. Can I give a quick background on it? So we have 2 golf courses. We have Boca Municipal Golf Course, which is technically not in city limits. It's outside the city. The city owns it, but the city's been running it, operating it, basically at a break-even price point. And we have several offers for upwards of $70 million for that piece of land that's outside of the city. On the other hand, we have basically a closed down golf course inside of the city, Ocean Breeze. It's no longer functioning as a golf course. And we have an opportunity to possibly bring that into the city, have golf running there, closer to our city residents as a whole. But there's been some challenges because it's, the city, Beach and Parks, the bank who owns it, the developer who's interested has rights on it, all have to come to terms, and sometimes that could be a little challenging.
Sure. So do you think that that's all going to come to fruition now, or do you think it's getting a little bit closer, or do you think it's still a little bit away?
I think so. So last night we gave direction to move forward on the sale of the Western Golf Course. And I mean, me personally, I want to move forward on the Eastern Golf Course any way possible.
Sure.
I'm not, the price tag that it's at currently isn't really exactly where I would want it to be, and it's a little higher than the number I was talking to before some other organizations got involved. But we've passed a resolution to have golf in Boca. I think the city council is committed to it. We just need to make sure it makes sense for all of the residents of the city. And that's
now, did you select who's actually going to get the bid for the purchase, or did it go out to actually for somebody actually put in a better process for them to buy the bid?
Yeah, so we ran into some issues on, I wouldn't say we ran into, so it actually turned out pretty well. But on the Western Golf Course, we've down-selected, and when they came before us, we probably got, somewhere around 8 offers. We down-selected to about 3 different offers. Well, not about, 3 different offers. And we're going to say, listen, we're going to take a best and final from those 3. I think we're still a little on the fence on if we're going to allow your final offer is due Friday at 5 p.m., or we're going to make the decision at council, and we're going to allow, okay, do I hear $1 more, $5 more? So we still need to finalize that, but we got clear direction to move forward, sell it, take that money, invest it inside the city where all of our residents can enjoy it.
Sure.
And we should have a date certain pretty soon, but I would guess sometime in October is what it sounded like.
Well, that's great news. Yeah. So it's a win-win for everybody.
I think so, and the market. It's a great time to be selling real estate right now. The market could turn in a second, and that price could go down tremendously. So there's some urgency from the council to, get the money while it's good for the benefit of our residents.
Well, Jeremy, listen, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing what else you have in store for us for our city.
Yeah, thank you, Peter, and thank you at home for watching.
Well, good luck.
Pleasure.
Thank you for joining us on the Boca Voice. We look forward to seeing you next week on Fact or Fiction Friday. Don't forget to follow us online and Facebook. You can also follow Jeremy on the links below. Thank you once again for following us.